boat's just beginning to take to the water now as the 5-minute gun is about to be fired. The lanes have been assigned in inverse order of points won, which means that defending champion Dave Vilwalk is going to have to come from way on the outside in lane 6. It's going to be tough for Dave and the beer boat to make it around the entire field to pick up his 8th consecutive win here in Evansville. Terry Troxell moved into the final heat. When the Elam discovered they had a fuel violation, the points they lost there cost them a spot here in the final heat. The beneficiary of that was Terry Troxell, whose trend west will be in lane 1. Next to him will be a repaired U8 Lumar window film driven by Mark Evans. He will be in lane 2. Mike Hansen and the U9 WABX will be in lane 3. Mitch Evans and the piston-powered U3 will be in lane 4. Mike Weber and the U10 M-Core, just leaving the dock area now, will be in lane 5. And Dave Vilwalk, as we said, will have to come from way on the outside in lane 6 in Miss Budweiser.
Miss Budweiser has a long way to go around the outside through turn 1, and then it has to make up some ground on the back straightaway or somewhere to get some overlap space to get down to the inside and get in a primary position to defend the championship in this event. But they've already done that once today.
Miss Budweiser has stalled leaving the pit area. The canopy is open. Could Dave Vilwalk be out of this already? The canopy is open. That usually indicates the driver is tossing in the towel. We'll keep an eye on Miss Budweiser. Just as Vilwalk left the pits, the turbine engine flamed out. They are calling for the crane. It appears that Miss Budweiser will not challenge. To repeat, here in Evansville, we have a big story, Chris, right at the start, before the start of the final heat. Wow.
Flame in the engine compartment. We saw what's called a hang fire the other day with the old boy Alberto up in St. Clair, Michigan, where they were running an exhibition. And I mean, it took about 3 seconds to destroy a motor if it hangs fire, but the service boats are just about to the Budweiser now to hook on.
Dave is looking at the transom area. He may have thrown a propeller as he was leaving the pit area. Right in front of us, Mark Evans is having trouble getting the Lumar underway. He is floating downriver, going just about as fast as the current. Now again begins to spool it up one more time. He is very close to the dock area down here. He's going to have to get some power, threatening to ignite. And Mark Evans may have had all that thrashing go on in his pit for nothing. After some damage last time out, they looked doubtful. The crew got the sponson patched, so Mark could go, and now he can't get it to fire. The Lumar window film may come to a very, very disappointing end to their day. The Budweiser is out of it. A towboat. It's going to be a 4-boat final. It'll be Terry Troxell in lane 1 in the Trend West Resorts. Mike Hansen in the U9 suddenly becomes one of the favorites coming from what will now be lane 2. He was assigned lane 3. Mitch Evans, can he do it with piston power? Win for the hometown fans in the Master Tire. He's out in about lane 3 or 4, depending on how they set it up. And the boat on the outside now will be Mike Weber in the U10. Chris, they are at the apex of the final turn. A little bit of grouping up still to do as Troxell leads them out of the turn and down the straight.
15 seconds to go, and Troxell is the first one to square up with the straightaway. Coming on the inside, the ABX, then Master Tire, then M-Core. It is the Master Tire who's taken the strongest run. M-Core big up the outside, 5 minutes. He may have been a little bit early. I think everybody else is safe. We'll wait for an official judgment from downstairs. The biggest challenge to the line was M-Core and Mike Weber trying to get a shot from the outside.
Mike Weber went very high as he came down the front straight and into the turn, giving himself a lot of room. The leader right now is the Piston boat. Mitch Evans has taken the lead in the Master Tire. The M-Core swung very wide, scraped off some speed. We don't know about his start. We think Mitch Evans was okay, though, and he is leading this heat with a half a lap in the book.
That's the piston-powered boat, U3 Master Tire, first into the second turn at the eastern end. And the Evansville fans are whooping and hollering behind us now as he swings out wide, trying to carry everybody out there with him. He's got the good look up the straightaway as he approaches the line. Lap number 1 of 5. 2 miles are done, and he's a rooster tail in front of ABX. Here comes M-Core, and on the inside is Trent West. All have completed their first lap.
Mitch Evans is the leader, but he's got a big problem off to his left, and that's a very fast race boat driven by Mike Hansen. The U9 gets crabbed a little bit at the apex of turn 1 now as Mitch pitches it in just a bit, and he had to do that to get him slowed down, or Hansen would have used that inside advantage to go right by him. Now it's more than a rooster tail again for the U3 Master Tire on the backstretch, and Hansen has to go through the rooster tail to the outside.
And he's having trouble maintaining the pace with Mitch Evans as Evans sweeps through the corner. We'll watch him on the exit pin, a little bit tighter this time than the line he took onto the front straightaway last trip through. Lap number 2 about to go into the book, and he's pulling this field. He's walking away from this field. Lap 2 is done.
We get word now officially that Terry Troxel and the Trend West did jump the gun. It appeared to be either a great start or just a little too early. It was too early, but he's running 4th anyway, so that will not be a factor. The big story is now at the apex of turn 1. Mitch Evans, in front of the hometown crowd, has the turbo Allison-powered U3 Master Tire out ahead of Mike Hansen in the U9, and he's building his lead.
They got several Allison motors down there, and they've used a sampling of them through the weekend. One they called M&M because it's colorful. One that's called Thumper for obvious reasons. One named after a nice young lady from a long time ago. This one, I asked them a moment ago, does it have a name yet? They said, no, we just put it in, don't have a name for it. I'll tell you what, in a little while it might be called Winner.
I was going to say the name of this one might be Champion. Terry Troxel has swung the Trend West now, way to the outside to leave a lot of room for Mitch Evans, who's going to lap him in this turn as they go into turn 1 one more time. It's quite a ways back now to U9 Mike Hansen's WABX. It is Mitch Evans' race to win. All he has to do is keep everything in the engine room moving in the right direction.
That last lap, 142 miles an hour. So he is setting a blistering pace. He's doing it for himself and pulling away from them all. They cleared Trend West on the back straightaway, and he's now got 2/3 of that straightaway as his lead over the WABX, and he's already in the corner all the way down to the middle of the straightaway before we encounter the second place boat. Just about to come off that exit pin and onto the straightaway. This will be the end of lap number 4.
The white flag flies for Mitch Evans. He has 1 lap to go, and this community of Evansville, Indiana is going to go nuts if their very own piston-powered hydroplane can beat all the turbines and win Budweiser Thunder on the Ohio. Mike Hansen is running well in second place, the U9 WABX, and he has nothing for Mitch Evans, who is out ahead and pulling away. 3/4 of a lap to go, and this could be quite a story here in Evansville.
He outran his competition that last trip through by a wide margin, several miles an hour, so he is pulling away and still setting a blistering pace. His 4th lap was 140 miles an hour, and usually this late in a boat race they don't have to maintain that kind of a pace. He has needed to, and he's been able to with that Allison power.
Well, the Piston fans across the country predicted this after Mitch Evans' showing in San Diego last year. They said, watch out for piston power, and here comes the checkered flag for the U3 Master Tire. What an incredible story as Ed Cooper, Sr. and Jr., traveling just a few miles from their shop and home outside of Evansville, have won their hometown race. Mike Hansen comes by in the U9 WABX. He'll take second place, not really able to challenge the piston boat. Now Mike Weber, he'll be happy with a 3rd place in the U10 the way his day went, and Terry Troxel will pick up a 4th place in the Trend West Resorts. Brand new boat just out of the box, a great week now. Mitch Evans has his boat under power one more time, and coming back to the pit area, let's go down there where Chris is with a very happy crew and a jubilant driver and owner. Chris?
Mitch, you made some history.
Yeah.
And before we talk, Evansville, he's with you. Give him a hand. I think they're listening up there. Congratulations.
Yeah. Awesome. What a day. You know, it just didn't seem like it was going to come around in some of the heats, but we kind of threw the dice in the final on another motor. And, woo! What a race.
Well, I asked your crew a little while ago if they'd named that Thumper or Susie or whatever. They said no name. How about Champion?
Champion, that works. You know, I was really surprised to obviously see Dave sitting and then my brother. I thought, boy, here's a chance we're going to go out and really hook up. But, hey, Mike ran me hard, everybody, and just got through the middle of it all.
2 laps from the end, you turn to 142, added to your lead a little bit. The next lap, you go 140. You could not cruise this race. You had to fire for it.
We went for it the whole time. I figured somebody might even sneak up on us a little bit, you know, but just kept on rolling. I was praying for it to finish.
Is this mark the dawning of a change in Unlimiteds, a dawning of a renewed era, do you think?
Boy, I think so. This is proof, you know, that you can, with a piston, be competitive, have a chance to win, and that should bring more people into this thing, you know, that have inboard experience, that would want to step up and come and race. Here's your proof.
Well, you're a leader on the track, and you're a leader in the sport. We congratulate you for all of that.
I appreciate it. That's great. Thanks.